How's everyone doing? Today I'll be doing my random horror DVD shelf number 4. So this will be all horror DVDs, but they're in no particular order. They're not alphabetized or anything like that. Like I said before, when I moved in, I just try to put everything up on the shelves. I just get them off the floor. But as you can see, I still have tons of stuff on the floor, movie-wise. And again, there's my dog right there. And I have a little bit of everything everywhere right now. Yeah. Some of these ones down here are stuff for videos, that too. Those over there as well. And then of course the closet, everything in here. Bunch of movies stacked up over there. And I have some stuff over here as well. So yeah, and then I have, you know, random movies a little bit everywhere. We're at 2350 Blu-ray right there from Magnet. Looks like a ghost movie right there. Haven't checked it out yet, but I will soon. But this one right here is going to be horror DVDs. I did 3 random shelf ones already, just showing some ones I had on here. I have a ton of horror DVDs or stacks all in there, and a bunch in the closet as well. Probably enough for 2 full shelves worth, bookcases worth. And like I said before, I'm going to get the extra bookcase right there, and I'm going to get 2 extra shelves for each bookcase. So hopefully all the stuff on the closet and the floor will be on the shelves and properly displayed. Can't wait. Soon. So right now I'm just going to show you the random horror DVD shelf number 4. And if you've seen these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them as well. Let's go ahead and check them out. And here we go. First up right here is this really nice edition of Pan's Labyrinth. I know there's a couple editions like this right here where it's the book style. Real nice leathery feel right there to it. And it's actually kind of debossed right there with the lettering and everything right there. Go ahead and open it up for you. Tons of goodies in here. I'll do a proper unboxing of this soon, but I just want to go ahead and show you. Right there, 2 discs. And it has a cool key and a card and a really nice book in here as well. That book comes right out. And I can't remember which country this is from. I think it might be, yeah, it might be Taiwan. I'm not 100% sure where it comes from off the top of my head right now. I have to look into it. I've had it for a while. I just never showed it, but there you go. I consider it a fantasy horror movie. Definitely enjoy it. Great visuals. Next up is Inside. Love the heck out of this movie. It's become one of my favorite movies of all time. Just completely bloody, splatter. I don't know if you consider it a slasher or not, or a splatter. It could be both, really. But absolutely love the heck out of this one. One of my favorite French New Wave films. It's my favorite, really. I love Frontiers as well. I prefer it over Martyrs. I prefer it over all of them. Inside right there, fantastic. Flight of the Living Dead, honestly, I really didn't care for this one that much. It seemed like a great premise. It could have been cheesy fun. Basically, it's a zombie outbreak on a plane. And, yeah, I don't know. It had a couple of recognizable faces. I think it was the guy from, the bully from 3 O'Clock High, I think, was in here. A few other people, too. But I'm pretty sure that guy was the bully from 3 O'Clock High, which I love the heck out of that movie. But this one, disappointed by it. Cemetery Man, absolutely love the heck out of this. Classic zombie film. Existentialism. I mean, it's just so trippy and surreal and dreamlike. And it's, of course, it's directed by Michel Sauvé. I believe that's how you say his name. It's, you know, I remember watching the special features and stuff for it, and I believe they actually said Michel instead of Michael or anything like that. But yeah, and of course stars Rupert Everett before he was really big, and Anna Fulci. Oh, breathtakingly beautiful in here. Whew. Love this one. Trick or Treat, a lot of fun with Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne. And Absentia, which I think is actually a pretty underrated film. Doug Jones is in here. You see the creature in here only briefly, but I actually really like that one. Devil's Rock, you know, I like the premise of it, but I wanted more from it. There was some creepy imagery, especially towards the end. It reminds me a lot of War of the Dead, which recently came out. Kind of a very similar premise, but instead of zombies, there's some satanic stuff going on in it. And then a Donner Pass. This was alright. Low budget. Basically a take of the Donner's Pass, and there's a history to it. There's something that involves people that can, up to these days, and kind of an interesting take on it. Next up is a 4 horror collector set right here with Bloody Mary, Mortuary, Memory, and Salvage. Beyond the Darkness, or Buo Omega. Outpost, which I thought was actually really good. Another kind of Nazism kind of one right there. A lot of ones with a similar theme lately like that. I actually really enjoyed it. I haven't seen Outpost 2. Heard mixed reviews for it, but I definitely want to check it out. After Midnight. I remember this was actually pretty enjoyable. The girl from CSI in here, the redheaded girl from CSI is in here. Marg Helgenberger. And Waxwork and Waxwork 2. I didn't really care for Waxwork 2. I know some people really love it. I wasn't a big fan of it. But Waxwork I really enjoyed. And this one right here is a 4 favorites horror one with Wolfen, Body Snatchers, Bad Moon, and Coma. They're all pretty enjoyable. Out of those ones, I think I probably like Wolfen the best. And then Bad Moon, and then Coma. And then both, I like them all, but Wolfen I thought was really cool. Hide and Seek, this was a Blockbuster one I got. I got it for like $1. Yeah, I know it says $3.99 on there, but it was $1. It was, you know, Robert De Niro, Dakota Fanning. It was alright, it was decent. Pit and the Pendulum, with Vincent Price. 3. I got it for $1. I still haven't seen it, actually. I need to sit down and watch that one. This is another one that I still need to sit down and watch. I'll Bury You Tomorrow. I buy a lot of blind buys, and sometimes, you know, it takes me a while to sit down and watch them. Frogs. I gotta love these cheesy, old school, like Squirm and Frogs. They're fun. Devil's Rejects. I highly prefer House of a Thousand Corpses, though. Highly. But this one did have some really cool scenes, especially with Sid Haig, Captain Spaulding right there. Unnameable 2. I still need to sit down and watch. You know, I take it back. I have seen this one on TV, though. It might have been edited, so I need to sit down and watch this version of it. Zombie Strippers. Unrated Special Edition. With Robert Englund and Jenna Jameson. Tito Ortiz back there. Pretty sure he got in trouble for domestic abuse with her, so that's a shame. Serpent in the Rainbow, love the heck out of this one. Totally surreal and crazy film. Storm of the Century, super underrated. I love the heck out of this one. One of my favorite Stephen King adapted films. Very underrated. And I love movies that are kind of like isolated and have snowy settings as well. And it's a long one. It was a mini-series, but totally worth checking out. Very creepy and atmospheric. Thinner. I do have the Blu-ray for this, but I'm keeping this one because of the special features that the Blu-ray doesn't have, which I hate that. If you're going to put the film on Blu-ray, port over the DVD special features. Come on. Love that one, though. A lot of fun. Joe Montana was awesome in it. Now, Altered. This is so underrated in my opinion. Alien abduction movies always freak me out. I love the genre. And this is a low-budget alien abduction revenge movie, if you will. And I love the ending to it as well. So underrated. If you like low-budget movies and you like movies with alien abductions, definitely check out Altered. And from the director of the Blair Witch Project, I am sorry, I am not a fan of the Blair Witch Project. I'll take Altered any day over the Blair Witch Project. Like anybody with a video camera can go out into the woods and blow snot bubbles into the screen and make Blair Witch, my opinion. Misery, and this is the one with the lenticular cover. Kathy Bates is a beast. She freaked me out. And again, I love movies with a snowy setting. And James Caan in there, classic. Great Stephen King adapted film. And this is the cult classics. Roger Corman's Dangerous Dames with Swamp Women, She Gods of Shark Reef, and Wasp Woman. Severance, another very underrated one from the UK. Pretty good horror comedy. I like that down there with the head down there at the bottom. Return of the Living Dead 3. One of my favorite ones of the series. I like all the 1, 2, and 3 are my favorite by far. The first one I love. The second one is so much fun. This one actually had some really good gore. I really love the lead actress. And this one as well. She's been in a bunch of stuff. And of course directed by Brian Usna. and I'm trying to find that lady's name. Is it Mindy Clark? I'm assuming it's Mindy Clark. But she was awesome in there. Really liked her. Amazonia, the Catherine Miles story. And this is a midnight double feature. Midnight Movies double feature right here. I actually love these Midnight Movies releases. It, The Terror from Beyond Space, and The Monster That Challenged the World. Last of the Living. I remember I got this at like Kmart for like $4.99, and so happy I did. It's a great zom-com, very underrated in my opinion. I know a lot of people put this movie down. It's, you know, it's low budget, but I thought it was very entertaining. Great zombie comedy movie. And this is The House on Haunted Hill and Last Man on Earth double feature. And the House on Haunted Hill remake, which I'll be honest, I didn't really love, but this had potential. There was some good imagery in here. The actor who was playing like Vincent Price's role, I thought actually did a good job. He kind of looked like him a little bit as well. I thought he did a good job there. And some of the actors, you know, Chris Kattan and a few other people probably miscast, but again, this movie had potential, but overall it was a letdown. But I keep it for a few creepy imagery scenes in there, and just to remind me of a movie that had so much potential and just fell flat. And this one right here was the killer action double feature with Dead End Drive-In and Cut and Run. Now, I got this one because I heard so many good things about Dead End Drive-In. I heard people talk very highly of it, and I didn't hear anybody really mention Cut and Run. And I ended up hating Dead End Drive-In and loving Cut and Run. And I'm actually really glad that I did pick this up, even though it was for Dead End Drive-In, which I didn't end up liking, but it opened my eyes and showed me Cut and Run, which Rosario Deodato, love this movie. Fantastic film. Michael Berryman's in here as well. Love his character in it. And this is the uncut, uncensored edition of Cut and Run. Love Cut and Run. And Dead and Buried. This is the Blue Underground edition right there. Nice thick one right there. And it's numbered right there. I think it might be around 50,000. I think. I'm not 100% sure. My number right there. 43,460. Limited edition set. Next up is Session 9. Oh, totally creepy and atmospheric. This is one where I first watched it, I didn't like it at all, and then I rewatched it because so many people pushed me to rewatch it, and I'm so glad that I did, that I gave it a second chance because I really loved it the second time around. And that's happened a few times. A lot of times people say, oh, watch it again, and I end up hating the movie. This was not one of those cases. This one, I'm so glad I gave it another shot. It's funny, I had this one, I picked it up, and it was a blind buy, and I ended up hating it so much I ended up selling it, and then I rewatched it, and I ended up loving it, so I had to rebuy it, which is kind of funny. I could have just kept a hold of that first copy I had. Zombie Babies right here has Sean C. Phillips in here. This one was so cheesy and so fun to me, but the editing was beyond awful. The editing was horrendous. There was green screen issues. There was all kinds of just... but I love the little creepy zombie babies. I love everything else about it, basically. I love the actress in here who was paired up with Sean C. Phillips. I can't remember her name. But I loved a couple of the actresses in there. I thought they did a great job. Super low budget, cheesy fun. I can't wait to check out Zombie Babies 2. Like I said, even though the editing was awful, I still did enjoy the movie. Right there you have 2000 Maniacs, the original. Witches with Angelica Houston. Those little rat creatures freaked me out when I was a kid. White Noise. I thought this was decent. I know a lot of people hated on it, but definitely getting good atmosphere in that one. Pulse. I know a lot of people hate on this one too, but I thought it was a decent remake. I enjoyed it. Cave. A lot of people hated on that one too. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I thought it had good atmosphere. I say that a bunch in here, but that's why I keep these ones. Because I liked them. You don't have to like them, but I liked them. Bite Marks. This was... this is wrong on so many levels. I agree, but it was a lot of fun. Low budget. It's basically a gay-themed horror comedy movie, and I found it to be very entertaining. I was going into it, wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, and Stephen Jeffries is in here as well. And of course there was an homage to Fright Night in here where he played Evil Ed. And this was actually very funny. I really enjoyed it. It's basically, you know, a vampire movie. And next up is Sympathy. And the lead actress in here is why I'm keeping this movie. I thought her performance was great. Basically, she's taken hostage in a hotel room and things play out and all kinds of craziness. Really like that lead actress in there. Low budget though. Stir of Echoes. And Stir of Echoes was actually based on a Richard Matheson story, so that's very sad that he recently passed away. Another great New Jersey legend passing away. Of course, he did I Am Legend, which spawned I Am Legend, the movie, which is my favorite of the film adapted from his story right there. Of course, you got Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price, and Omega Man with Charlton Heston, which I thought that was so campy. I Am Legend gets so much crap. It doesn't deserve to. I think it's fantastic. I love Will Smith as an actor. But Richard Matheson, may he rest in peace. Blackwater, which loved this one. Of course, crocodile movie right there, based on true events and all that good stuff. They always say that about so many movies based on true events. Popcorn. Oh, so underrated. Such an awesome slasher right there. So much fun. Creature, which again I think is very underrated, with Craig T. Nelson and Kim Cattrall. I love the Creature right there. This like shark-human hybrid. And this was, I believe, a TV miniseries as well. But I thought that was, I got that for like cheap from Amazon, like $2.99 through Amazon. It's crazy. Squirm, Jeff Lieberman. Totally cheesy fun right there. Town being taken over by worms. Dance of the Dead, super underrated zom-com. Love this one, so much fun. Zombie prom, basically. Zombies take over and these high school students, you know, fight their way out. And there's a great zombie makeout scene in here as well. Love this one. I never hear anybody talk about it. So much fun. Some great scenes in that one. The Mothman Prophecies, which this creeped me the heck out with Richard Gere and Laura Linney. The first half of this one freaked me out when I watched it when I was younger. And the second half, I kind of let me down a little bit, kind of went down a different path that I wanted to see at least. Silent Warnings, again, I love movies. Poop! Silent Warnings right here with Billy Zane and Stephen Baldwin. And this one, you know, again, it's low budget, it's cheesy. I remember seeing this on the Sci-Fi Channel, and it's basically, they go into this house. It was somebody's relative that passed away, and they're staying there, and they find out that there's aliens. And I love movies with that kind of alien themes. Aliens always freak me out, so. Scarce, this was a low budget, I believe this is a Canadian horror film. Again, I love movies set in the snow, and now I really didn't care for this movie, honestly. Very basic storyline. And, you know, these friends are driving back, and then I think their car breaks down, and they get picked off by these cannibals, and, you know, redneck cannibals. But I will say, the special features in here, the making of Scarce, is worth watching for that alone. The making of Scarce really shows you how much effort and heart and blood, sweat, and tears goes into making a film like this, a low-budget film. I will say, it still didn't make me like the film, but it made me appreciate the effort and everything they went through. You know, showed the poor conditions that they lived in, and, you know, they were in the freezing cold, and everything they went through to make this movie. And that should be like a documentary on its own. It should be a movie that you can buy, a documentary that you can buy and just pick up, so it can give you an insight on what really goes into making low-budget horror, because that blew me away. What they went through to make this movie, and I'm keeping it solely for that. I didn't love the movie, but that making of was amazing. Amusement, one of the creepiest clown scenes on film, in my opinion. I didn't love the movie. There was too many little things here and there, and I hated the ending. Too many little things that just kind of annoyed me, but it did have some really creepy imagery all throughout, but the ending pissed me off as well. Story of Ricky, so much fun. I know a lot of people hate this one, but it's not meant to be taken seriously. It's comedy. It's basically all-out martial arts, crazy comedy. People punching through stomachs, smashing heads, bloody as heck. The Story of Ricky, aka Ricky Ho, and this is the special widescreen edition. I was waiting for this to come to Blu-ray. I remember hearing talks about this coming to Blu-ray, seeing on Amazon a pre-order page, and then they took it down. So I don't know if it will come to Blu-ray or not, but such a fun film, cult classic in my opinion. And 13 Ghosts, I know a lot of people hating this one too. I loved it. I think the creature effects in here were amazing, and I liked it. Some good suspense in there, some good atmosphere, and Attack of the Vegan Zombies, low budget goodness right here. Cheesy horror comedy. And again, this is one thing, they use the same generic cover, this part right here, on other movies as well. This was on another low-budget movie that I remember seeing before, and except it didn't have this part down at the bottom, but that was more prominent on the other one. So I don't like when they reuse the same kind of cover like that. But it was cheesy, low-budget fun. I enjoyed it. So there you go. There is my random horror DVD shelf number 4. And if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them as well. And leave me a comment or video response down below. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.